Okay, we're going to go through the real-time clock functionality on the PLCs. And the first thing to know there is that while the PLCs will keep track of time for you, and you can do comparisons against it, that sort of thing, the PLCs themselves don't have a battery inside them. So most of the time, you want to make sure that you've got a battery somewhere in your power loop. So an easy way to do that would be to just plug your power supply into an uninterruptible power supply, or a lot of times in mobile applications, our customers will be directly powering their PLCs from a battery, something of that nature. But it's not critical with most functions. But real-time clock, if you were to lose power, the real-time clock would start over again. So just be aware of that. I will now go ahead and create a new project and let the hardware identify itself. And I happen to be using an ACE 11 here, but any of the PLCs will behave the same way with this. If you've got an older, if you've had your PLC for a while now, you may need to upgrade the firmware and the version of vBuilder. But if you've recently purchased one from us, it should be available. And if you do need to upgrade the firmware, you can see right here. You go to this tab, and it'll direct you. You can go to the link there, and it'll bring you to velocio.net/update, where you can get the latest firmware. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the tools real-time clock, and the quickest, easiest way to set the PLC's time is to just press this button right here, and you can see the time here. This is a live stream of the time from the PLC, and you see it just changed. And what this does is it matches up your PC's time with the PLC's time. If for some reason you need to use maybe a different time zone than the one that's on your computer, or whatever other reason you have to manually change it, you can do that here, and you get it to where you want it, and then you push this button, and it'll do exactly that. I'll do an example here. You can see it just updated it, but most of the time this button is great. It'll just do what you need. After that, we can go ahead and use it, and you use the timer/clock button, and you'll switch it over to real-time clock. And we'll first go through the read functionality. I'm going to create some new tags, and I'm going to make their names match what they represent, but there's nothing special about them. I could name the tag whatever. So we've created those, and we will step through. I'll go ahead and program, run, switch to debug, and look at the values. Okay, it's actually running right now. If I reset, let's see if I stopped and reset the values, you'll see initially there's zeros in all of the tags. And for each of these types, the year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and day of week, they're all UI8s is what we use as the data type. But once you start this program, all the data starts out as 0. But if I step one step, which would cause this one function in our program to go once, it's now read back the time, and it's put all the data into these variables. And if we check out the real-time clock function here, you can see that these all match up. It correctly read the time. So it's pretty easy in that way. And then you can go on, and when you're using this, you use just standard comparisons against it. So maybe you want to do something every Tuesday. So our days of the week, they start at 1 is Sunday, 7 is Saturday. So it's just 1 through 7. So if we were talking about a Tuesday, that would be a 3. So we check if day of week was equal to 3, and then you could do something based on that. That'd be a thing you could do. The clock set is very similar. Let's see. You typically use that if you wanted to be able to set a time from an HMI, something of that nature. You could let your customers do that, or your users do that. So it'd be set. And you see the only thing that's not present there is day of week, because that's something that's just calculated. It's you don't have to tell it that. So you can put in hard-coded numbers, but that'll be a pretty rare situation. Normally you'd create some tag and place the data in there, but I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so that's how you deal with real-time clocks.